Hello everyone. Motivational talk about the importance of strategies is all fine and dandy, but let's actually do some analysis on that little thing called averaging down. And let's see what it is good for and what we can learn about how numbers work in the market. Oh no, God please no, go back to the stories about planes landing on rivers or something. Not to worry. I won't be going through the whole thing in minute detail. Well, if you want to, you can, of course, just pause and dig in. Otherwise, I will only walk you through the basic scenario I am trying to quantify here, and then highlight some interesting discoveries, connections, and contrasts based on these numbers. So here is the setup. We have a deposit of 200 USDT. We buy 50 USDT worth of a coin. Any coin. Then we set our intended take profit level at, let's say, 1% for sake of simplicity. This means that as soon as the market price goes up 1% from the price we bought at, plus the fee rate, we want to sell and pocket our profits. This can be easily done by placing a limit order at the target price. Now, what if the price does not go our way and the price keeps declining and declining? As mentioned in the previous videos, we can either wait, we can sell at a loss, or we can try averaging down. And this is exactly what we will be looking at today. A quick reminder, averaging down means buying additional quantities of an asset as the price goes down to lower your average purchase price, thus being able to make your profit at a somewhat lower sell price point, when the price turns around and picks back up. First of all, let's set some rules and boundaries, so that we know exactly how to proceed and do not have to guess under pressure. Let's establish that when averaging down, we will buy in equal increments of 50 USDT. Given our initial deposit, this gives us a total of 4 possible buys before we run out of available funds, or in other words, we run out of liquidity. Because at that point, all of our money will be tied up in the coin and no more buys will be possible. Let's also establish that we will buy these increments of additional coins each time the price changes down 1% from whatever our most recent buy was. Lastly, we will establish a stop loss of, let's say, 2%. This means that the maximum loss we are willing to take is 2% of our investment. If the coin price drops down to the corresponding level, we will have to sell all the coins we just bought, therefore safeguarding the remaining 98% of our investment from further losses. Interestingly enough, a stop loss of 2% does not always equal a 2% drop in coin price, and I'll show you exactly why a bit later in this video. Now that we know our rules, let's check out that awesome spreadsheet. As per usual, we have some inputs. Here is how much USDT we initially have, the price that we first open our position at, the size of each of our orders, the fee rate for the given trading pair, the price drop percentage which triggers our additional buy transactions, our predetermined take profit, and stop loss percentages as well. The 4 columns of numbers here show us the state of affairs after each of the 4 buy transactions. These can easily be expanded to fit more if need be. Now to the horizontal sections. This one shows you all the main parameters of the open position. This one is all about break even and take profit. This one is about the current risks we have with regards to our losses. And yes, it always takes into account the fact that we keep on averaging down as the price drops. And lastly, this one is all about future risks after each buy, meaning what would happen if the price drops one more step down, but we decide not to average down anymore. So let's check out what happens when you buy another batch at a lower price. First, your available liquidity is obviously decreased. Hence, the size of your open position is increased. The average cost of your position is lowered, the break-even point is lowered, the absolute price corresponding to your desired take profit percentage is also lowered. Now, the potential absolute profit has increased due to increased position size. Whoa, looks great so far, but there's always a catch. The current market price is moving down faster than your break-even point and your take profit point are able to chase it. Look at these three lines. This is how far the market price has gone since your first buy. And this is how far it needs to bounce back up to hit your break-even point or your take profit point. Of course, at least we are trying to catch up. If we did not average down, this is how far the price would have needed to bounce up to get to your initial buy price, and that's not even including any profit or fees. By the way, did you notice that the distance from and the distance to are different? Here, let's use a more dramatic example to illustrate. Let's say that the price dropped 50%, so it is now half of what it used to be. Now, to get up to that original price point, it needs to double, hence the 100% distance up. This is because the basis of the percentage calculation is different. For smaller percentage changes, this difference is not as dramatic, but it's always there anyway. Now, if that was not enough, there is one more catch. Your risk exposure is increased as the downtrend continues. It does not take a genius to figure out that as the price drops, you lose more and more, but how much more exactly? And does averaging down provide any relief in that department? This actually turned out to be probably the most interesting thing for me coming out of this spreadsheet. Look, here we are at the price of $9.90. At zero fees, with or without averaging down, we lose pretty much the same amounts in absolute terms. But as a percentage, we lose less for having averaged down. And this remains true for the rest of the buys. Even if we include fees, the basic premise is still very similar. This brings us to the stop-loss rule. We said that the maximum we can afford to lose is 2%. Now look here, with the averaging down, we remain under our stop-loss rules even after 4 buys. While without averaging down, we are forced to stop and take a loss earlier. Therefore, averaging down keeps us in the game a bit longer, giving the price more of a chance to go our way. So to summarize, the good is that when the price bounces back up, you can eventually take profit at a lower absolute price point. The bad is that if the price goes down and does not bounce back up, your larger position will lose you more money in absolute terms. Hence the importance of a stop-loss piece of the puzzle. A few more fun things that I just noticed while playing around with the inputs. The numbers here in the spreadsheet actually do not care what the coin is and what its price is. So check this out. Let's say Bitcoin is at 50,000 or even 100,000. See, the important numbers simply don't care at all. Only the price and the quantity of coin is changing. The rest stays exactly the same. This is why I am insisting that it is important to focus on relative values, such as change percentage, take profit percentage, stop loss percentage, rather than on the absolute values of coin price. Another fun observation is that fees always play against you. They always lower your profit, and they always increase your loss. Once this is said out loud, it seems quite obvious, but I was somewhat oblivious to this fact, thinking that a change up of 1% always offsets a change down of 1%. I love this thing so much that I could go on and on here, but let's wrap up for now. Let's put this thing to the test in a real-life trading scenario. For that, I'll see you in the next video.